Aries, this is your February 2016 extended love as well as general forecast reading. We're going to start with your love reading. Right, so the first two cards that come up speak of courage, steadfastness, victory and success. The second card says that you may feel like you're running out of time, but remember that everything happens in divine timing. Relax, let things unfold as they will, and in their own time. There is no rush. So the first card speaks of that steadfastness, of that courage, of that knowing that in the end everything will work out. There will be success, there will be victory on whatever level that you want that victory to be. But not to rush it, to give it time. Don't look for a quick ending. Don't want it to be over quickly, so do whatever it takes to resolve it so that it's finished now. The challenge says that your love relationships or partnerships are burdening you at the moment, even possibly causing you quite deep-seated unhappiness. And the next card says it's time to take time out from this. Don't force anything. This carries on from those first two cards. Don't make things into what you want them to be as quickly as you can. Allow things to unfold naturally, and renewal will occur. It says withdraw from action for a while and give it a rest. You will see this is a continual theme through both your love and your general forecast reading. Something needs to unfold in its own time, and preferably with as little, I want to say, manhandling from you as possible. Right now, what you don't know is there's some sort of communication coming in. It's going to be fast, possibly unexpected, but you've got two rainbows showing up here. So this is maybe that's something that you've got to wait for. Some kind of communication between you and a partner, or that relates to you and a partner, either a love partner or a platonic relationship, is going to come in. And this will bring, as the second card says, a sweet moment of understanding. Your heart's calling will be answered, it says. So this could be possibly an apology, making up after some kind of serious misunderstanding, but to be grateful and sweet about this. So I think if you rush trying to restore order in your partnerships and relationships, that you're going to miss out on this opportunity. Now, your next step says you have an obstacle to overcome. There's no two things about it. You're quite aware of this part of it. But the blessing card says that you will be moving into a deeper intimacy in your relationships or your partnerships. And it's going to bring transformation to your world when this happens. This new development is going to bring grace into your life. So where things are at the moment, that's not what it's going to be in the future. And this is only a month's reading, so it's going to resolve fairly quickly, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. And you need to take a bit of time out about this and know it will be resolved in a good way. And possibly when you come out of whatever this is, your relationship is going to be stronger for it. Because the final outcome says an agreement of some sort in writing. So you two will come to an agreement, either in your partnership or this romantic relationship. And it's going to bring inner peace, okay? You will find alignment with one another, and then you will find acceptance and harmony. So whatever this communication that comes in, that has to do with your partner or relationship, or your partner possibly communicating with you, will cement the relationship between the two of you. It will probably be better than it was before, on a far more even keel. It will bring you resolution and inner peace, providing you don't try and force the issue, providing that you let this unfold as it needs to unfold, even if it is possibly causing you fairly deep-seated unhappiness at the moment. And to remember that there is no time limit here. Don't rush against an imaginary clock, because it will solve itself, given that you let it solve itself in its own good time. Okay, so that is your love and relationship reading. Now let's move on to your general reading. Now your general reading says you need to take decisive action. Now this is quite interesting how this ties into your love reading, because this decisive action is not the decisive action you're thinking about. The Four of Swords says that there is a tendency to want to not deal with whatever this is. Sometimes not dealing with whatever it is means we try and resolve it as quickly as possible, use whatever means necessary, because we don't want to go through the steps of whatever it takes to truly resolve this issue. But this says that you need to make a decision, and you need to let your heart lead you, not your head. And you need to listen to your inner truth, not dogma, not the done thing. You must do your thing, and you must be strong and determined about this. And don't cling to outdated arrangements, and ignoring it is not going to make it go away. You need to take time to rethink and regroup before you make a forward move. So that decision has to be about your action, your next action. Now your challenge is to look after yourself here. Do what's right for you and to take care of yourself. Take time out, pause, because things will come together in the end. Just accept that what is now is the way it is. And when you totally relax into that acceptance of this is what is happening now, you simply exist, you'll find this Hanged card says, I quote, "The cords that bind you loosen and you are able to fly away." So that decisive action is actually about deciding that you need to take time out, relax into the situation, let it just be, don't try to solve it and resolve it. It needs to unfold in its own time and way. Because your outcome cards say you are protected, Spirit, Universe, God has your back, and He has your way forward. They are watching your way forward too. You will be defended when you do finally make that move forward. You will be protected is actually the words. So you no longer need to be restricted by expectations, and you're ready to move up and on to a new level. A new level that will make you happier. So this is all moving towards a resolution of you feeling happier where you eventually are, and not tied down by other people's expectations of how things should be or how they should go. This is good Aries territory. This is pioneering new ways for you to be in this partnerships and relationships and in your life in general. You will then find a balance between what you have to do and what you want to do. And it says, nurture your soul. Don't let fear stop you from pursuing a new route or a new adventure. Okay? So that's going to be very dependent on each of your situations. Now your guidance cards speak of, and this Ancestors and DNA is coming up all over the show at the moment. Private readings, monthly readings, weekly readings, you name it. Now I'm going to explain this fairly in depth because someone sent me an email wanting to know exactly what these two cards mean. So bear with me now. The Generations card speaks about something that's familial, something that has been going through your generations of your family, in other words, and also of the wisdom carried within generations. So your family has traits, habits that are familiar. They also have wisdom that will have been stored over time. Now the DNA or karma card speaks of those two strands of DNA. The one strand of DNA is fate, and the one strand of DNA is destiny. The fate DNA is familial heritage. This is what has been happening for thousands of years through your family. It's woven into your DNA. The other strand of DNA is destiny. In other words, this is where you come to a point where what has been happening through generations in your family, habitual way of doing and saying things, you now have that opportunity to change this. You can carry on doing the same thing. The cycle can be repeated over and over again. Or at this point in time, you can now, and this is good Aries territory once again, you can set forth on new territory. You can set forth a new precedent. You can change that cycle that has been going on in your family for generations. I'm talking generations, hundreds of years back. Okay? So basically, if the generations card comes up on its own, we can sometimes say, well, there might be wisdom to be found within your family, within the way they did things, and in your elders, people that are older than you in the family. But when the two come together, there's generally a case of something which has been in your family for generations, which is a patterned into your DNA, which is not necessarily conducive to your highest form or happiest form of living, can now be changed. Okay, so that was a long explanation, but there we go. The final card there in your guidance says that you need to be grounded always. When one is going through stress, when one is going through challenges, when one is going to change life in a big way, then ground yourself. And really, quite simply, take your shoes off and go and stand outside on the earth whenever you feel the need to. And breathe deeply. That's a very simple way of grounding yourself, but you need to get rid of that clutter that can come in one's mind that can be so busy and make you feel sometimes as if your mind is running around in circles. Okay, now your soul path is the bluebird, and this speaks again of taking a breather, and that life will become tranquil because the worst is actually over. It speaks of breaking from entanglements, of letting go of the past and all that binds you, so that you can look back with only fond memories. Okay? No resentment. So there's definitely this push forward for you, Aries, into newer territory with your relating to people. It's definitely with your relating to people and the way it's done. You're going to be breaking new ground here. Don't force it. Do it in its own good time. That final card speaks of memories, of nostalgia. But the bluebird, together with those memories, is saying, if you can break free of the entanglements, if you know that life will become tranquil, and it will, and you move forward into that, you can look back at the good memories, and those are the memories that you will have. Right, Aries, that is your February general as well as love forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and listening.